Welcome back, everybody. Excited to dive into a new topic today.
Always ready for a deep dive.
And this one tackles something we all deal with.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Emotions, the good, the bad, the whole messy spectrum.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So we're looking at a couple chapters from this mindfulness program,
All right.
and they really dig into how to understand and work with our feelings.
It's like having an emotional toolkit.
Exactly. And I think a good place to start is
Okay.
with those so-called negative emotions.
The stuff we usually try to avoid.
Exactly, like who actually enjoys feeling anxious or angry or sad?
Well, you know.
But one thing these chapters point out is that these bad feelings
Yeah.
actually served a purpose.
Back in the day, for sure.
For our ancestors, right, like fear kept them safe from predators.
Exactly. If you weren't afraid of a saber-toothed tiger, you probably wouldn't.
You wouldn't last long.
Not very long, no.
And anger helped them protect their resources.
Yeah, compete for food, territory, that kind of thing.
But here's the thing. Our emotional wiring,
Our good old brains.
right, haven't quite caught up to our modern world.
So we're kind of like walking around with Stone Age brains in a digital age.
Exactly. No wonder things feel so complicated sometimes.
Right. It's a mismatch.
And it's not just mental either. These chapters talk about the biology of emotions, too.
Oh, absolutely. It's all connected.
They even mention the study where just the smell of coffee changed gene expression in mice.
Can you believe that? Just a smell?
It's wild. Makes you realize emotions aren't just these fleeting things.
They have a real physical impact on us.
Big time. So like when we feel threatened,
Yeah.
our heart races, our muscles tense up,
It's that fight or flight response kicking in.
getting us ready for action.
Exactly. Problem is sometimes that response gets triggered when there's no real danger.
Which is how we end up with anxiety.
Exactly. And these chapters use phobias as an example.
Oh, right. Like someone terrified of spiders even though they've never actually been bitten.
Right. Their fear is way out of proportion to the actual threat.
So we've got this ancient wiring, sometimes misfiring, and it's happening on a mental and biological level.
A recipe for overwhelm, for sure.
But these chapters offer a technique for dealing with these tough emotions.
Ah, yes. They call it RAIN.
Rain.
Yep. It stands for recognition, acceptance, investigation, and non-identification.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
It is. But it's basically a mindfulness practice to approach difficult emotions with more awareness and compassion.
I like that. And they give an example of a lawyer named Janice,
Oh, yeah, Janice.
who's dreading a visit from her brother.
He's not the easiest person to deal with.
To put it mildly, and she's already anticipating feeling annoyed.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling.
So how does rain help her in this situation?
Well, first, she simply recognizes she's feeling annoyed.
Okay, seems simple enough.
It is, but we often try to push away those uncomfortable feelings.
Right, just pretend they're not there.
Exactly. Next step is acceptance.
Does that mean she's okay with her brother being inconsiderate?
No, not at all. It's more about acknowledging that annoyance is a natural response.
So accepting the reality of the situation without judgment.
Right. Then comes the investigation phase, where she pays attention to the physical sensations of annoyance.
So like maybe a tightness in her chest or a clenched jaw?
Exactly. Focusing on the physical helps depersonalize the emotion.
I see. So instead of getting lost in the story, like, my brother is so annoying,
She's just observing the sensations without judgment.
creating that separation between her and the feeling,
Right. And that leads to the final step, non-identification.
which means,
She realizes, I'm feeling annoyed, but I am not annoyance.
so it's not her identity, it's just a temporary state.
Exactly. And this creates space for her to respond in a more skillful way instead of just reacting.
So she's gaining control instead of being controlled by the emotion.
Precisely. And the chapter suggests trying a guided rain meditation to help cultivate this skill.
Sounds like a good idea because like anything else, this takes practice.
Practice, practice, practice.
Right. So we've talked about facing those bad feelings, but these chapters also explore the other side of the coin.
Oh yeah, the good stuff.
The power of feeling good, and I think that's where we should head next.
Sounds good to me. Let's dive in.
It's amazing how we can actually train our minds to handle those tough emotions.
It's empowering, right?
Totally. But like you said, these chapters don't stop there.
Oh no, they go way deeper.
They explore the power of cultivating those good vibes,
Yeah, the feeling good part.
Exactly. And it's not just about feeling good on the surface.
Right, it's about genuine well-being.
And I think it's cool how they dig into the science of happiness.
Yeah, it's a whole field of research.
I bet a lot of people think happiness is just random.
Like it just happens or it doesn't.
Yeah, but there's actually a lot we can do to cultivate it.
Absolutely. And one of the most fascinating things I learned is that happiness is actually contagious.
Wait, what? Like a cold?
Kinda. Studies show it spreads through social networks.
So like my good mood can actually rub off on others.
Exactly.
Pretty cool.
That's amazing. But before we go spreading joy everywhere,
Mhm.
um,
Maybe we should define what we're even talking
it's a
about.
good point. What does it even mean to be happy?
Right. Is it just about feeling good all the time?
Well, these chapters explore different models of happiness.
Oh, interesting.
One model emphasizes meaning,
Okay.
like finding purpose in life,
Mm-hmm.
living by your values,
Mm-hmm.
feeling a sense of self-worth.
So it's deeper than just fleeting moments of pleasure.
Way deeper.
Yeah.
It's about genuine fulfillment and connection.
I like that. And what about the other model?
Oh, that's Cloninger's model.
Cloninger.
Yeah, he focuses on personality coherence.
Okay, now you're just using big words.
Haha, sorry. Basically, it means our personality has three main dimensions:
Hmm.
temperament, character, and intuitive awareness.
Okay, break that down for me.
Sure. So temperament is like our inborn disposition.
Gotcha.
Character is what we develop through experiences.
Okay.
And intuition is that deeper knowing,
Like gut feelings or those aha moments.
Exactly. And this model says happiness comes from aligning these three.
So when our temperament, character, and intuition are all in sync,
We feel whole and well, like all the pieces fit.
that makes sense. It's not about forcing ourselves to be someone we're not.
Right. It's about understanding and integrating all parts of who we are.
And recognizing that our intuition plays a huge role.
Absolutely. Those aha moments can lead to incredible breakthroughs,
Like in science or art.
or even just in our own lives,
Totally. Like when you're stuck on a problem and then bam, the solution appears.
out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, like magic. And speaking of science, these chapters give some cool examples.
Oh, yeah, like Archimedes in the bathtub.
And Richard Feynman watching a plate wobble.
Exactly. Both had major breakthroughs from those everyday moments.
It's like our unconscious mind is working behind the scenes.
And then, boom, it delivers the goods.
Love that. And they also talk about Jonas Salk, the polio vaccine guy.
Oh, yeah, he's fascinating.
He said he would become the polio virus in his mind.
To understand it from the inside out.
That's wild. And it helped him come up with a solution.
Powerful stuff, right?
So it's not just about surface level happiness. It's about tapping into that deeper awareness.
That intuition, that connection.
Exactly. And these chapters suggest that practices like mindfulness and self-compassion can help.
Oh, for sure. They make us more receptive to those moments of insight.
So there's actually a link between these practices and our intuition and creativity.
That's what the research suggests, yeah.
Yeah.
And they specifically recommend trying loving-kindness meditation.
Okay, I've heard of that. What's it all about?
Well, it involves directing feelings of warmth and compassion towards yourself and others.
Okay.
Like you might repeat phrases like, may I be well, may I be happy,
I like that.
and then gradually extend those feelings outwards.
To friends, family, strangers, even people we find difficult.
It can be challenging, but super powerful.
Sounds like it, and anyone can do it right.
Absolutely. And just like mindfulness, it gets stronger with practice.
So keep practicing those good vibes, folks, but we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have, from negative emotions to happiness and everything in between.
I'm curious to see how these chapters wrap things up.
Me too. Let's hear what they have to say.
It's amazing how much ground these chapters cover.
He really is, from the nitty-gritty science to those real-life stories.
Right. And one of the biggest takeaways for me is that
Yeah.
we're not just puppets to our emotions.
We have more control than we think.
Exactly. And these chapters give a great example of that.
Oh, yeah. What was her name?
Cherie,
Cherie, right. She was dealing with a lot of grief.
after losing her husband,
Yeah, and she was so focused on the sadness.
that she was missing out on those little moments of joy.
Like she was wearing those dark glasses, blocking out all the light.
Perfect analogy. But through mindfulness,
Ah,
she started noticing those joyful moments again.
even amidst the grief.
Exactly. It's not about denying the tough emotions.
It's about making space for the whole spectrum.
The good, the bad, the whole shebang.
And remember how we talked about happiness being contagious?
Yeah, that was fascinating.
Well, these chapters suggest mindfulness can be contagious too.
Really? So if I'm practicing mindfulness,
Yeah.
it could actually influence the people around me,
That's the idea, like a ripple effect.
creating a more mindful and compassionate world.
One interaction at a time.
I love that. It's like those small changes we make can have a bigger impact than we realize.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great point to wrap up on.
It is. This whole deep dive has been eye-opening.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
Likewise. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of emotions. We hope you've gained some valuable tools and insights along the way. Remember, you have the power to choose how you ride those emotional waves, whether they're crashing or calm. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep living with more awareness and a lot more heart.